So my name is Pam, and I've come from Blenheim. And I suppose permaculture is an idea that's been rumbling around our family for a number of years now. I come from a lifetime of working with children in education as a teacher, and I also come from a lifetime of being interested in living on the land, and never really doing that, but still with that kind of orientation. So I'm here, and it's kind of a break to immerse myself in something else other than education. And what I'm finding is that the ideas of permaculture, in my mind, thread their way through the whole of life. It's not just our relationship to the land, it's our relationship to each other, our relationship to our communities. And it's going to be very hard for me to articulate any of that right now because it's still just going in at the very first level of learning. But I'm being dazzled by these patterns and the potential for understanding who we are and how we can most effectively be present in our lives and to each other.
For me, one of the very inspiring things about permaculture is that it's so positive and solution focused. It's very pragmatic. It doesn't shy away from talking about the challenges that we face individually and globally. But my perspective is that at a point in history where it's very easy to get overwhelmed with all of the crises that seem to be converging at a particular point in human history, permaculture offers, and it's one of a number of tools, but it offers a very positive and practical process for creating a more sustainable life and looking for projects and concepts and things that you can get involved in, and a way of doing it in community.
My belief is that we live in a world where history constantly repeats itself. Just as the Middle Ages, where the Dark Ages, where people were starving and being hungry and there's no overpopulation of humanity, and then there was a sudden death, die out 1/3 of humanity. There was the Enlightenment period, shortly after that, where there was great inspiration coming through, great understandings of the world, great beliefs coming out again. And it was incredible. I feel that right now we're living in that same time, another repeat of itself. Humanity's on the brink of the edge, about to collapse, about to break through. As Evelyn Lazarus talks about, there's either a breakthrough or a breakdown of the society. And to be able to break through, we have to change our consciousness, our awareness of how we are and how we relate to the world. It's about reconnecting to the earth, learning how to feed ourselves, learning how to live sustainably and efficiently. I do believe that an old paradigm is going to fall down, it's going to break down, and a new one in its place is going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes. I think now is the time. Now is the time to reconnect to the earth. Now is the time to change our ways. Life is about growing and changing our ways, and this permaculture course is exactly about that. It's about stepping out of fear, moving to our heart, and live in a space of love.
I am really passionate about permaculture, and particularly passionate about permaculture design courses, because it's really exciting to be in a group of people that are just having this mind-popping experience. It changes the way they look at the world, and we hopefully send them back out after the course with way more hope and optimism than what they came. They come to a course looking for answers to the state of the world and the things that can be very depressing. So we talk about that a little bit, and then we leave that aside and we really focus on solutions. It's really positive, and the social ecology that we work very hard to hold is incredibly powerful, and we become a very tight family unit very quickly, and we create a space that's really safe for people to explore the problems that they're seeking answers for, and to express. It is important that we grieve for the state of the world, because if we hold it in, it's going to eat us up. So being really positive focused and allowing a safe space for people to express their frustrations and work together to try and solve the problems, it's just so exciting. I really love it.
It's a wonderful feeling to be able to constantly strive to live lightly on the earth, tread lightly on the earth, and create beauty in your life and live sustainably. Hi, I'm Trisha Allen, and it's a very great pleasure to be down here in Aotearoa at this permaculture course. I love coming to permaculture courses. They're usually very special people who come, and I learn as much as what I'm able to teach, and so it's great to be here. I've come down from Matakana, where I've lived for the last 25 years. For 23 of those years, I lived at Rainbow Valley Farm with my late husband, Joe Polisher, and that was an amazing adventure we had together, starting off with degraded farmland, and that was pest infested and eroded and weed infested, and turning it into a beautiful permaculture paradise with a lot of hard work, but also a lot of joy and happiness. So now I've moved from the farm and I've started a new little project in the village. I have a lovely new eco house, gardens, orchard, and it's giving me great pleasure to apply my permaculture knowledge and skills that I gained all those years on the farm in my new home. For me, permaculture is a way of life. Once you've got the disease, you've got it forever. And it's very, very satisfying. It's a wonderful feeling. Joe was totally committed to permaculture for the last 30 years of his life. Just before he died, he had a very deep insight. And he wrote it down, and he sent it to a local newspaper, and it was published 2 weeks before he died. And he said, in permaculture, I've always been interested in the laws of entropy and renewal. But one thing I feel I have ignored, and that is the power of love. He said love and compassion, they are limitless, they are renewable, and that was such an important realization for him to have just before he passed away.
One of my favourite things about permaculture, and what makes it different from other design systems, is that it's ethically based. And so the ethics of caring for the earth, caring for the people and all other life on the planet, and the fair distribution of resources are the key points that make it different from anything else that I've ever done before. And it's very diverse, and so it's totally got my attention, because I can do a whole range of things. One day I could be out in a paddock in my gumboots with my GPS. The next I'm acting the goat with some people out on the lawn, or we're pretending we're doing a wild forage and eating what we can because we're pretending that the house has just fallen down in an earthquake. So it's really diverse and it's really interesting, and people can really follow their own individual passions within the whole pattern of a really effective system for change.
I have an absolute trust that it will reverberate out into the world, because that's the pattern. You know, things go on echoing and reverberating and rippling. And there's such good people here. How can it be anything but good?